You're 50. Retirement isn't a distant dream anymore. It's coming at you fast. And here's the truth. The decision you make in the next few years will determine whether you retire with freedom and options or with regrets and compromises. In the next 20 or 30 minutes, I'm going to give you 8 specific moves every Canadian man needs to take into consideration before he clocks out for the last time. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, back for another episode. And today's topic is taking into consideration when it's time to leave and how to prepare for it. Got my PowerPoint presentation as per always. Let's add that to the stage now. Okay, you're 50. Retirement's coming whether you're ready or not. Number 1, build your Canadian retirement income blueprint. The Canadian retirement system has 4 pillars. Map out each one. CPP, the Canada Pension Plan. Check your statement of oh wow, that was trippy. Check out your statement of participation online, My Service Canada account. In your 50s, you can see your projected monthly amount at the ages 60, 65, and 70. Taking it at 60 means 36% reduction. Delaying to 70 increases it by 42%. If you're still working, contributing past 65, the post-retirement benefits adds to your monthly check even while you're employed. The stipulation with that, if you decide to take your CPP at 60, say, it's reduced to 36%. 36% reduction from taking it at 65. But say you don't necessarily need that CPP, but it's still coming in. You can take that CPP monthly income that you have and reinvest it into something in your tax-free savings account. For example, if you got the room, or a non-registered account or whatever. Get that monthly income generating more income or building a bit of its own nest egg for 5 years until you're 65. You don't necessarily need it at that point, maybe. So you might as well utilize it to create some additional wealth. By the time you're 65, the amount that 36% reduction that you incurred when you took it at 60 will probably have evaporated, and you'll probably gain some more income because you're going to be able to generate more income off of that savings over the past 5 years rather than not collecting it all in the 5 years. On top of that, if you need said CPP for an emergency or whatever comes up, say you need that CPP monthly income for a month or 2, it's there to protect you. In my opinion, the longer you wait, you're burning up more time, and you're less likely to collect on that CPP. The benefits of starting it early, I think, outweigh the benefits of prolonging it, because you're not guaranteed like life past 60. Your window of optimal lifestyle is shrinking, and it's disappearing fast. Like, you're taking a big risk. You paid into the CPP your whole working life. In my opinion, start collecting as early as possible. If you don't need it, invest into something else that'll generate you more income in the future. Just my opinion. Old age security. Verify you're on track for the full 40 years of Canadian residency needed for maximum benefit. If your net income exceeds $90,000, a clawback threshold begins. Plan strategies to minimize OAS recovery tax. Now, $90,000, if you're potentially not going to make much more than $90,000 and it's going to affect your old age security, you might want to keep it at that $90,000 threshold. But If for some reason you have investments and money coming in that kick you up to $150,000, $200,000 a year for some weird reason, some really good financial planning on your part at that point in life, are you going to sacrifice that additional income just to save your old age security? Something worth considering. You can't take it with you. All right, workplace pensions. Get a current pension statement. If you have a defined pension plan, request a projection of your monthly payments. If defined contribution, assess your risk tolerance. You may want to de-risk as you approach retirement. And I'm sure a lot of you know what defined benefits is. Defined benefits is you put in a certain amount of years of service. They give you like 5 or 6 of your best years salary, and that's what they base your monthly pension off of. And that's for the rest of your life, index for inflation, blah, 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 blah. DC account is just, it's more or less like a company RSP, defined contributions. When you leave said company, that defined contributions amount, lump sum, gets transferred into what's called a LIRA, lifetime investment retirement account. It's like an RSP. There are different rules for it. The LIRA will eventually get turned into a lifetime income fund, a LIF. And there will be a different set of rules for that. How much you have to take out, a minimum amount you have to take out, and a max amount you can take out. So there's restrictions and rules associated with that. Personal savings. Consolidate scattered RRSPs and TFSAs. Calculate your total nest egg using the 4% rule as a starting point. You can safely withdraw 4% annually without depleting principal. And that's on top of all your other sources of income. GIS eligibility. If you expect modest income in retirement, understand the guaranteed income supplement thresholds. You may qualify for up to $1,000 a month tax-free, but RSP withdrawals count against it. So basically, kind of like old age security, the more money you make, the less likelihood you're going to need that GIS. Number 2, exploit Canadian catch-up strategies. Unlike American 401ks, Canadian retirement accounts work differently in your 50s. RSP carry forward room. Check your notice of assessment for unused RSP contribution room. You may have tens of thousands in accumulated room from previous years. In your peak years, 50s, this is your last chance to use it at your highest margin tax rate. TFSA's maximization. If you have contributed since 2009, your accumulating room is over 95,000. In your 50s, prioritize TFSA contribution if you expect your retirement income to trigger OAS clawbacks. TFSA withdrawals do not count as taxable income. So you're pulling money from your TFSA is not going to affect your OAS clawback. You can still cap yourself at $90,000 of taxable income. TFSA can take you to the moon and back, and it won't affect your old age security clawback. It won't trigger that. Spousal RSPs. If your spouse is in a lower tax bracket, contribute to her spousal RSP. Now to smooth income in retirement and reduce household tax burden. Remember the 3-year attribution rule if you're close to converting to a RIF. A RIF is just a registered retired income fund, kind of like a LIF. Number 3, enter retirement debt-free, especially your mortgage. Makes sense. Accelerate mortgage payments. With renewal rates potentially higher than your original rate, use prepayment privilege to chip away at principal. Most Canadian lenders allow 10 to 15% annually lump sum payments and increase regular payments. That really helps out. I've done that with my mortgage. HELOC strategy. If you have a home equity line of credit, pay it down aggressively. Retiring with a HELOC debt is risky. Payments aren't tax deductible for personal use and rates are variable. Avoid good debt rationalization. In Canada, investment loans for dividend stocks can be tax efficient. But heading into retirement, simplify your finances. The psychology behind benefits of being debt-free often outweigh the margin tax advantages. Yeah, so don't put yourself into unnecessary debt. At that point of life, you should not be incurring any debt. You should have enough wealth to get you through. Number 4, navigate Canadian healthcare gaps. Our system covers the basics, but the gaps matter. Provincial coverage differences. Research your specific province coverage. Ontario, BC, and Alberta handle supplementary benefits differently. Some provinces charge premiums, others don't. Know what you're walking into. Prescription drug plans. Provincial plans vary widely for seniors. Ontario's OHIP covers senior 65 plus for most prescriptions. BC has fair pharmacare. Alberta has different rules. If you're retiring at 65, you'll need private coverage or provincial assistance programs. Extended healthcare benefits. Workplace benefits often end at retirement. Budget $3,000 to $5,000 annually for dental, vision, physiotherapy, and prescriptions. Not fully covered by provincial plans. Consider private extended healthcare insurance while you're still healthy. Premiums jump significantly after 60. Long-term care. Provincial coverage exists, but has waiting lists. And co-payments. Private long-term care insurance is available, but expensive in your 50s. Consider setting aside a dedicated care fund, $200,000 to $400,000 instead. Oh, wow, that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. Number 5, optimize CPP and old age security timing. This is where Canadians gain or lose tens of thousands. CPP dropout provisions. If you have low earning years, unemployed, education, childcare, you can drop out up to 17% of your lowest earning months from the calculation in your 50s. Ensure your contributions are solid to maximize your average earnings. Coordinate with your spouse. If one spouse contributes significantly more to CPP, consider pension sharing. You can apply to share CPP credits, potentially reducing household tax burden and maximizing combined benefits. That's an option. OAS deferral strategy. If you can delay OAS for up to 5 years for 36% boost, if you have significant RRSP assets, consider withdrawing them down first and deferring both CPP and old age security to 70. This reduces lifetime tax and maximizes inflation-protected government benefits. GIS planning. If you're expecting low income in early retirement, structure withdrawals carefully. TFSA withdrawals don't affect GIS eligibility. RSP withdrawals do. Draw from taxable accounts and TFSA first. Prefer to preserve GIS if you're eligible. And that's the guaranteed income supplement. Design your Canadian third age. Purpose and structure matter more than finances. Test drive retirement communities. Spend extended vacations in potential retirement destinations. Victoria, Kelowna, the Okanagan, Atlantic Canada, or Mexico or Arizona if you're a snowbird. Rent before you buy. Actually, I wouldn't buy in the States. I just rent. If you're going to the States, just rent. Because apparently there's some laws down there regarding real estate, Canadians owning real estate, or I guess any non-U.S. citizen owning real estate, and any capital gains or whatever, you'll be on the hook with the IRS, probably, and with Canada. So I know, I just rent. It's probably safer. Exploit portfolio careers. Many Canadian men in their 50s transition to broad positions, consulting or seasonal work. The Canada Pension Plans allows you to work and receive benefits simultaneously with the PRB topping up your contributions. Volunteer with structure. Organizations like Habits for Humanity, local food bank, or membership programs through your industry associate association provides meaning and social connection. Start now so relationships are established before you leave work. Fiscal infrastructures. Canadian winters are isolating. Ensure your home or future home is stable for aging. Single level living, proximity to transit, walking paths are maintained year-round. Consider the aging in place modifications now while you have income. Which makes sense. Prepare your home for when you get older and less mobile. Number 7, execute strategic tax planning. Canadian-specific opportunities in your 50s. Pension income splitting. Once you convert RSPs to RIFs or receive pension income, you can split up to 50% with your spouse. This can save thousands annually if you're in a different tax bracket. Plan now for which spouse should hold more registered assets. RRSPs to RIF conversion. You must convert your RSP to a RIF by age 71, but minimum withdrawals start the following year. Consider early conversion. If you have low income years before 71, withdraw at a lower tax rate and recontribute to TFSA. TFSA estate planning. Name your spouse as a successor holder, not just beneficiary, so they inherit your TFSA room automatically. For children, they're beneficiaries. The account closes and they receive cash. Old age security clawback management. The threshold is around $90,000 in net income. If you're approaching this, use TFSA withdrawals, tax-free. Return of capital from corporate class funds or crystallize capital losses to manage your taxable income. Principal resident exemption. If you're considering downsizing, remember your principal residence sale is tax-free. The proceeds can fund TFSAs or living expenses without tax consequences. It's a good idea. If you got plenty of room on your TFSA and you sell your primary residence, and that primary residence generates a lot of tax-free capital gains for you, topping up, maximizing your TFSA and growing that just makes sense. Build your Canadian social infrastructure. Connection and currency in retirement. Strengthen the weak ties. Work provides casual day interaction. Replace it intentionally. Join service clubs, Rotary Lions, faith communities, or hobby groups, curling, golf, hiking clubs, woodworking guilds. These aren't just nice to have. They're protective factors for cognitive health. I think I had a previous episode about social interaction after you retire. A lot of people put their identity and relationship skills into the workplace, and they don't go outside of that. They don't have different hobbies or different venues where they can go socialize. Socializing in retirement is very, very important. Because remember, you ended your career. That's where a majority of your socializing came from, because that's where you spent the majority of your working life, is at a job. So it needs to be replaced. Multi-generational connections. Many Canadian retirees find purpose in grandchildren care or community mentoring. That's so true. Like you hear people, they want to retire and spend time with their grandkids, right? Organizations like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Junior Achievers, or local trades associations need experienced guidance. Pass on the knowledge. Snowbird Network. If you plan winter escapes to the US, Arizona, or Mexico, connect with Canadian Snowbird Associations now. They provide health insurance guidance, cross-border tax advice, and instant community. Spousal relation investment. If you're married, you'll be spending significantly more time together. Address relationship dynamics now. Couples counseling isn't a crisis tool. It's a preventive maintenance. Many men discover their social network has work-dependent, build independent friendships outside of work. Something to think about. Retirement isn't ending. It's a transition you've been working towards your entire life. The next 10 to 15 years aren't your final chapter at work. They're your preparation for everything that comes next. Start today. Your future is counting on it. All right. There we have it. So some really good talking points in that presentation. It's all about preparation and how you want to spend the years of your retirement, or whatever you want to call it, however you want to structure it. Leaving the workforce, leaving the corporate world, leaving the rat race. 8 good points to take into consideration: the government subsidies, the healthcare, the social connection, and just generally keeping yourself busy in retirement. The end of your career is just a transition into the next phase of your life, where you should be able to enjoy the creature comforts of your life and your hard work. The older you get, the closer to the end you get, right? 60s, 70s, mobility is going to start to decline. Health is going to start to decline. You're going to be limited to what you can do. So maybe in consideration, rather than focusing on all the career stuff, maybe it's time to start doing some stuff for yourself, freeing up your time, because you're running out of it and it's very expensive. Anyway, with that said, I think I'll call that an episode for today. So I thank you for joining me. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.